Okay, so here's a little template thing, those action games. I haven't had a video upload in a while. I probably won't even upload this and just make it for fun, and it'll sit on my hard drive forever. But let's do a tier list thing. So here's action games. I'll try to explain them because why I put them in places, because I don't think each of them placed in certain spots are equal. Like I have a few in mind right now that I'm going to put in the same tier, and they're in that tier for different reasons. So let's just start off with stuff I haven't played. I haven't played the Onimusha games. I have them, I think. I have not played Yakuza Ishin. I'm waiting to hopefully it gets translated. I've not played that Spider-Man game. I have no idea what the bouncer is. What is this meme game that I keep seeing? I can't even tell what the fuck that one is. I have not played Darksiders 3. I have not played Shinobi. Yeah, I think that's everything. Oh, I have not played Bayonetta 2 yet. Yeah, I think... Oh, I only played the demo of that. I guess that's no strong opinion, because I have played it. I just... Only the demo. I think that's everything. Oh, I have not played Wonderful 101 yet. Or Beautiful Joe 2. So let's start this out. Anarchy Reigns, I think, is a solid B tier. It is an okay game. It is fun in the moment. Doesn't have a lot of replay value. The soundtrack is phenomenal. The online was actually pretty fun, but died very quickly. I cannot tell you a single character's name in that game. They were cool designs and they played fun, but I can't tell you a single one of them. There was one guy, he's from MadWorld, whose name I can't remember. He's basically Marcus Phoenix, but instead of his chainsaw on his gun, it's on his hand. I honestly cannot remember his name. Was it Sam, maybe? I think it was Sam. Or Jack. Something generic. If this is DmC definitive, I think it belongs in D, maybe E. Don't know. If this is not definitive, then it's F tier. The fact that the first one launched with no lock-on is honestly unacceptable. Color-coded enemies can suck my dick. I think that's pretty much it. So we'll say it's definitive edition. So we'll put it in D tier, where it's an alright game, but I hate everything else about it. I don't really care for the Darksiders games. They're okay. The first one's alright. I really hate the loot system in 2. It's like Diablo. Do not like that game. Let's see. Kingdom Hearts 2. Love that game. Love it to death. Love the story. Love the characters. Love all the boss fights. Final Mix, honestly, yeah. If we're talking Final Mix, it's S tier. I have not played the base 2 since probably middle school to elementary school. So, cannot tell you where that belongs, but Kingdom Hearts Final Mix 2 belongs up there. Let's see. DmC 2 goes in F. No need to explain, that game is fucking abysmal. Game is bad. God Hand, obviously, SSS. That game is fucking phenomenal. Just the creative combo system, I wish more games tried to do. Something recently did that, and I can't remember what it was. What was it? There was a game recently that was like, style your combo and change each like button tap and combo path, and that was really cool. God, what was it? I can't think of it. Oh well. DmC 5, Triple S, great return to form. I'm sad that we don't have Virgil DLC at the time of recording if it ends up happening. And I'm sad that co-op Bloody Palace isn't a thing. But I think there's a mod coming for that. I don't know. DmC 1, I love DmC 1. I'm a boomer when it comes to DmC 1. That game is fantastic. It's perfectly paced. The only thing that sucks about DmC 1 is its camera fighting Griffin the first or second time, the one where you're in the dome arena. That sucks, and the water level sucks, but you can complete that in a minute, so it's not that bad. I love DmC 1. It's great, if a little simplistic, but that's fine. DmC 3, set the world on fire. Another game I feel like that doesn't need to really be explained. Just fantastic. Wonderful game. Kingdom Hearts 1. The level design in this game is shit. It kind of has create your own combos in a way, like a baby's version of God Hand. There's some cool boss fights in this game, but I think it's held back by how rough around the edges it is. So that's why I'm putting it in C. DmC 4. I'm gonna put it in S. Just regular S. I really dislike how the second half of the story is just Nero's in reverse, but playing as Dante. I really dislike a few of the enemies in this game, like the Blitz, the shark enemies. What the fuck else? There's just like some things that just really bother me about this game that really holds it back. But yeah, it's not a bad game. It's fantastic. It's fucking amazing. But there's just some things that really, really bother me. I know how cool Lucifer as a weapon is. I personally do not like it. Do not like it at all. Legend of Korra. Might be a little too mean to put it in E, but for now we're going to put it and leave it in E. That game has no replay value, no fun boss fights. The levels are shit. I want to say you got fire bending like at the very end of the game. You got one of the bendings at the very end, and then the game was over. There's really nothing that felt fun to use your abilities on, just like use your move list. I just the mech, steam mechs that you had to like fight in the town and shit, those boss fights sucked so fucking much. I keep fucking like having these like weird hiccup burps things. Yeah, that game, for now, we'll sit in E. Maybe we'll bump it up to a low D, like D-. Bayonetta, S. This is a really fun game, but I do not enjoy it as much as I do the DmC games. I enjoy the weight of DmC far more than I do the weight of Bayonetta's combat. Bayonetta, as a character, and the cast around her are really fun, and the bosses are cool. I really do not like the palette of this game. It is very colorless and dull, which is why I really like, from all the gameplay I've seen of Bayonetta 2, I really like the colors they went with that. It's good. I just don't like it as much as any of these, or this. Let's see, what else? Dante's Inferno. This is another one. I'll put in E for now. It's just kind of bleh. I don't even remember most of it. I remember playing it. Like, I remember the boss where it's like her boobs, or no, her nipples are like giant mouths and she opens them and spiders crawl out or something. I just don't remember most of that game. I want to say there was like really shitty platforming that I did not enjoy. The combos were not that fun. I'm going to leave it in E for now. Maybe we'll bump it up to a D along with Korra, but I don't think so. You know, Dragon's Dogma. No, I don't know where to put Dragon's Dogma. Just say Zura's Wrath. We'll put in. Fuck, this is hard. I'm gonna put it in high D. This is a C minus. This is a C minus, maybe a D, a solid D plus. The story of this game is really fun. The characters and the voice acting. The gameplay is not, and that's why it's this low down. The gameplay was actually fun, or I enjoyed the gameplay, I would have it way higher. Also, the fact that this fucking game has its ending as $5 of DLC, and there still isn't like a re-release of it with it on a disc, or on Steam, or on PC in general, on any of the fucking storefronts, even if it should be not exclusive. It's... God, it fucking bothers me. God, just... What the fuck? Furi, we're gonna put in B. It's a solid game. The parry system, once you master it, the game kind of just becomes easy mode. And some of the bosses really suck. The sewer boss, I want to say the angel with the 2 crossbows is pretty shit. There was just a few bosses that really held this game back from like being an A. And the parrying, while it is fun, like once you master it, you never get hit. And it's a little boring because it's it's just like it's hard to describe because it's very. I would say the combat is linear in a way, where with something like DmC, there's a million ways to tackle stuff, and there's just like a million ways to style on people. It felt like you have your gun, and I believe it's a charge shot and then regular pellets to hit their pellets, because it becomes a shmup for some bosses, like the green guy. Or maybe we'll see green. The old guy turns into like a shmup for a bit. But you just like, I feel like every boss fight boiled down to they're swinging at me, I parry, and then I hit them 3 times, and that was it. That's all I remember about this game after a while. Like, when I think of gameplay, that's all it is. Let's see. I'm going to put Transformers in C, because while I like it, it felt a little bare bones. It felt like it was missing a little something. It just needed oomph. And I really, really dislike the loot system in that game. Like, the level weapon grading and shit. That sucks. That's fucking ass. My dream ending for that game is like a hairier sequence, like the one in Metal Gear Rising, where he's riding one of the winged enemies up the skyscraper. It'd be like that. You're like playing Hot Rod or Optimus or Bumblebee, and you're driving up like exploding Unicron or something with You Got the Touch playing, and it would be awesome. But that game, I want to say, ends on a wet fart, because I don't remember it at all. I could be completely wrong, but I just remember going, I wish there was more of this. God of War 4, I'm going to put in C. This game is really held back by its pretentiousness and how much it wants to be like a film. The seamless take shit really holds this game back, especially on repeat playthroughs. The amount of just walking you do at a slow pace while things happen around you, it makes this game very unfun. Like the boar section, carrying Atreus back to Freya when he's sick, bringing up the Golden Bridge for the first time, where you're like watching it all rise from the water, talking to the Leviathan or the World Serpent, whatever the fuck it's called, going up the mountain with like fighting the mist shit. There's just so many sections where this game just doesn't want you to be a game. It wants to be a movie, and not in a fun way, because it doesn't feel like... The way I see it is that there's nothing wrong with a game trying to be very movie-like or very cinematic. But there's nothing added to this game from it being like this. This could have easily just been cutscenes that were skippable, and nothing would be taken away from them. Because if these were just cutscenes, they could be beautifully... the camera could be masterfully moved around like it does at times, and it would look great. And you'd be able to show off your beautiful world design and the graphics and the art style of the game. But just having you walk around like that, I guess, sure, it's diegetic and it keeps people, in quotes, immersed. But it always takes me out of the immersion, because I just want to get through this shit, and there's no way to skip those things. And a lot of the times I just wish, man, why isn't this just a cutscene that I could skip to go back to actual gameplay? Which is what I really, really think holds back this game from being amazing. That and its terrible camera. Its camera and lock-on system is so bad. The lock-on system is so shit in this game that I forgot it existed, because it just breaks all the time. It just breaks. Things move too fast. And I just go, where the fuck are they going? And that's why I think it belongs in C. And then the rest of the God of Wars, they're okay games. I don't think they're bad. Oh, they don't have Ascension or any of the PSP ones. Ghost of Sparta, I think it was called. They're fine games. I don't think they're bad. Maybe I'd bump some of them up to B. I don't know. They're fine. I personally don't like them as much. I've come to appreciate them more now after playing God of War 4, and I'm like, man, can you not God of War 4? Can you just let me be a game or be a cutscene? Because fuck walking around in that game. Let's see. The Nightmare Before Christmas game, I want to say it's a B for memes, because I love Nightmare Before Christmas. But this game is really bare bones in some areas. So I want to say it's like a high C, but it could be a B. I'm gonna leave it at B. Maybe I'll bump it down to a C. Ninja Guy. We'll do Metal Gear Rising. I either want to put it on A or S. I think I'm gonna put it on S right now. Maybe I'll bump it down to an A. This game has amazing bosses, amazing soundtrack, and an amazing cast. The levels between them and levels between set pieces and bosses are really not fun. They are really not. They are really bad. They are so boring. You go back and you play the sewer level, or you go into the town before you fight the Metal Gear, or after the Metal Gear, and you're just like, fuck, dude, you're just walking around, and, like, you fight shitty enemies, and Gecko, like, it's really not that fun to just play the base game itself. The combat of boss fights is so much better than the rest of the game. I would much rather Metal Gear Rising be like Furi in how it's a boss rush where you walk to the next boss and then the story happens. Because having like cutscenes or something, like you have to rework the entire game because it would not work as it is now. But that's how much I would prefer Metal Gear Rising to be compared to what it is now. Because when you're not fighting the bosses or doing the crazy set pieces, there are some okay levels, I will admit. There are some okay ones. The office building was fine. And I want to say the lab where you find the kids is okay. But there is just some stuff where you're fucking feels like you're doing nothing. And then the shitty stealth areas in that game, holy fuck. Okay, so Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm going to put in C. As of right now, it is C, but once we get the DLC, I bump it up to a B, maybe an A, depending on all the stuff that gets added to the Reminded, or Remind, or Rebirth, whatever the fucking DLC is called. Once that gets added, that gets bumped up. This game feels incomplete. The ending feels like it's missing 20 minutes. There are some worlds that I absolutely hate in this game, and there's not a lot of them, so that doesn't really help. I hate fighting the enemies in the Monsters Inc. world. The Monsters Inc. world itself is cool. The unversed are fucking lame and shit. The big snail unversed are the most boring fucking enemies to fight. They're like fighting the Impusa boss, or the Impusa queen in DmC 5 on DMD. They don't stagger, you can't do anything on them. You're just bonking on them and then you dodge their move. It is so boring. It is so shit. The level itself is fine, but the enemies you fight in it are bad. I ran into tons of fucking bugs when I played it, which obviously that's not how the game is intended to be played, and that's not how it was envisioned, but that's what happened when I played it, and it really soured my experience to where I think it is a lesser game because of how fucking buggy some fights were. The evil Baymax, or whatever his fucking name is, at the end of the Big Hero 6 world, just got stuck at the top of the dome of the world, or the arena that you're fighting in, and then it just got stuck there, and the boss fight was shit, and it was bad. A lot of the ending boss fights, like the Nort Court or Marluxia and God, I can't remember the fucking, what's her name? The electric bitch in the car guy. You're fighting them, and they all have like 2 or 3 moves. You focus one down, they have nothing to do. It's kind of sad. Because what it feels like is you're supposed to fight them all at once, but if you just focus all of them down, it really shows how weak of a boss fight it is, and how shitty they are, because there's nothing to them. Because... yeah, I know it's a meme. They are style over substance. Like, ooh, look, it's cool that you're fighting all of them at once. And yeah, it's cool initially, but then you realize, oh, there's nothing to these boss fights at all. They're kind of fucking lame. Marluxia just spins in a circle on his scythe. He has that, and then he has the pull you in closer move, I think, from 2, and maybe one other move. They really don't do a lot, and it is kind of sad how little the bosses have to them in that game. Or the organization bosses, I should say. All the world bosses are kind of just like big, dumb monsters that are lame as fuck. The Monsters Inc. one is just a blob. The Toy Story one is that UFO, which is shit. The frozen one is the ice dragon, I want to say. I think it's the ice dragon. That's pretty lame. Yeah, just the boss in that game just felt like such a step down from 2 Final Mix. And you could say it's not fair to compare 3 base to 2 Final Mix because 2 original release is not nearly as good as 2. And you could say that, and I do think there's some merit to that, and that is fair to say. But the fact that 3 came out this late into the game and it feels really unfinished and half-baked really let me down. I feel like, yes, even if 2 Final Mix was not the original release and it added all the good shit to the game that everybody loves about it, I feel like, yeah, they're not. It's hard to put into words without coming up with like a well thought out script, or like a well written script already for this game. I've spent so much time on this game. I feel like I spent like 5 minutes just talking about Kingdom Hearts 3. But to close it off, to loop it back around, the fact that this game came out this year and felt incomplete and lesser to a game that came out 10 years ago almost now, it feels like, I think. Probably 10 years, I don't know. I just think is kind of unacceptable. Even if that wasn't the original release of that game, it is the redone version to make it good. I still think that it should at least be that much. A lot of this game feels like nothing to me. Just like it's missing stuff. I wish it was better. Hopefully the DLC really fixes this game up. That's all I gotta say. Oh, Final Fight Streetwise, I didn't play. I don't even know what that is. So let's go to Nier. So Nier as a game, I fucking love. Nier 1 is amazing. This game's combat is ass. It is doo-doo. I mean, it's not... Yeah, it is pretty doo-doo. The game's frame rate is also very bad. But I love its story. I love its cast. I love its music. And I love the magic in this game. That it honestly... It is not as good as combat as these games. Well, you can't see my mouse in the recording, but as S tier, it is not as good as the S tier games, or the B tier games, or even some of the C tiers. Honestly, but overall as a full complete package, I love Nier 1 more than a bunch of these games. So it's gonna be like this. I think it's gonna be like that. Yeah, it's gonna be like that order. So, Vanquish is going to be an A. Solid. Wish it was a little longer. The jetting around is really fun. There's some odd levels that are just like, why is this here? Like that sniper one where you're in the little cart getting carried around by like a conveyor belt or like a suspension thing where you have to snipe enemies. I felt like such a weird level for a game focused around going fast to just go, why? Nier Automata, I'm going to put it in regular S. I love this game. I do love this, so I'm going to put this up here. It is, yeah, there we go. So that's the order. Yeah, I think, yeah, this is going to be the order. So Nier Automata is a really good game. It's fantastic. I don't like the chip system all too much, even though, yeah, it's kind of already like the book in Nier 1. I don't enjoy 9S's gameplay that much. He's not nearly as fun as 2B or A2. A lot of the plot feels just like Nier 1, but again. And I don't mean, well, it's a sequel. Of course it's going to be like that. No, I mean, a friend of mine has been talking about it with me, and we were discussing how a lot of Nier Automata's story structure is just Nier original, Gestalt and Replicant, just plug and chug different character names, and they have exact analogs and events to Nier 1, to the point where it feels like it's just that game again with a new coat of paint and different characters, and it feels kind of like a rehash in a lot of areas. I disagree to an extent. Like, I do think that, like, some areas from that game, from Automata, are just, like, there because they did it in Nier, like, Nier Replicant. But I still think it's a fantastic fucking game. Probably overall a better experience for people to get into, even if I do think Nier Replicant is a better game overall, or I like it more. I think Automata is objectively just a better experience for someone else, for other people to get into. It's a little hard to put into words without having a deeper analysis. Beautiful, No More Heroes 1, I'm going to put an A. This is a great game. Great bosses, great characters, great soundtrack, great performances. It's on the Wii. I do not like the Wii. In fact, I actually hate the Wii. I despise the Wii, which is also why I never finished 2. I played the first bit of 2, and that's why it's going to be no strong opinions, because I did not play far enough. I really hate the Wii. I wish this would get like a port to Switch. I know, Switch begging port meme, but some of the side jobs are not that fun. The coconut one, like picking up the coconuts and shit, like to get money, they're not that fun. That could be the intention of them. Oh, they're not supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be just a job. Yeah, I don't care. That doesn't, just because that's the point, doesn't mean that I have to like it just because that's the point. Oh, it's intentionally shit. Well, okay, it's still shit. I still am gonna think it's shit and not enjoy it. Great game overall. I think it's held back by some of like the hardware limitations. The fact that it's not HD really hurts to go back to. That game is so murky and blurry on a new TV that it's unfortunate. And I also don't have a working nunchuck, so I can't finish 2, and I can't go back to replay 1. So they're just kind of sitting on my shelf that I can never touch them again, and it makes me sad. MadWorld, no strong opinion on. I know that's kind of like a fucking cop-out, but Yakuza 1, I'm gonna put in C tier. It is a great game, but it is rough around the edges. The loading times in some areas are fucking terrible. The English translation to that game is bad. The English voice acting is bad. Some of it is charming how bad it is, but other parts are not. The biggest issue with the combat in that game is that you cannot change your direction when you're fighting, so you're kind of just stuck in the way you're going. So I hope you're facing the guy you're going to be facing, or you're just going to be swinging off into nothing. Let's see, Force Awakens, or Force Unleashed. I feel like D is too low, but C is getting very crowded. So I'm gonna put it in D. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it in D. It's a high D. So let's redo the D order. Yeah, I think that's just fine. Yeah, that is fine. It's a low C, high D. It's okay. It is honestly forgettable. It's just I do not remember any memorable boss fights. I remember hating the second one far more than the first game, because the second one is I want to say that game is like 3 hours, 4 hours, and it has like a shitty twist. Are you a clone or are you not a clone? And then I want to say, I don't even remember what the twist, if it's true or not, but I think he isn't a clone, or he is a clone. And the games are okay. They're nothing special. They're nothing amazing. The Force abilities are fine. I wish there was more to them. I feel like Force Lightning was really OP in that game. If it was in it, I want to say it was. I could be just completely misremembering. It's been a while since I played Force Unleashed, so it has been quite a while. It's probably been like 2011 was the last time I played that game. Yeah, it's fine. So Yakuza 2, I want to put in S. This game is fucking great. Ryuji Goda is fantastic. I love this game. This cast is so good. The story, like everything, all the bullshit that happens, all the quadruple crossing 5D dimensional mind chess that happens with like, oh, I double cross you, and actually I was on their side, but I'm actually Korean. It's so great. I love 2. It is a really good step up in fixing of 1's issues, but it still has some of them. The loading in some areas, it might just be my PS2, were bad. I want to say they were kind of some of the side quests, which I forgot to bring up in 1. The side quests in 1 or sub stories in 1 are pretty terrible. A lot of them are just like, because Kiryu has been in jail for 10 years, a lot of people just rip him off. Like, here's a cell phone, here's a cable TV, and here's the internet, and all this shit. And that's here, plant the trees or whatever. I think that might have been just an exclusive one for Kiwami. I can't remember, but yeah, a lot of Yakuza 1 sub stories just start and stop with Kiryu being swindled or scammed because he doesn't know anything, because he's kind of an oblivious idiot at times. That's kind of it, and that is his charm. But yeah. So then we're gonna move over to Yakuza 3. We're gonna put Yakuza 3. We're gonna put. Do I want to put it in C? Yeah, I think I'm gonna put it in C. But Yakuza 3 and D feel so dirty, because Yakuza 3's story is great, its setting is great. I love its cast. Rikia and oh my god, why can't I think of the other guy? Miko, the fat blonde guy. I can't remember his name. Oh my god, he got his fucking back broken by a sledgehammer. But the combat in 3 was really rough. I don't know. It just felt like everybody blocks, and there's no way to really break guards efficiently in that game. It's weird. It's weird to describe because I put 2 up here, but 3 down here. Oh, I might just put it in C. But 4, I'm putting in B. Maybe A. High B, low A, because the 4 characters have really different playstyles. Tanimura with his counter guarding, and Saejima with his big gorilla style, and Akiyama with like kicks and shit. It's a fun game. I do not like the soul point system. I really don't. Or yeah, I think it's called soul points. And that was another thing. I just like, ugh. Oh, no, that's for Kiwami too. That's what those leveling systems. But I really, maybe I'm gonna put it in A. Fuck it, we're putting it in A. We're putting it in A. We're putting Yakuza 4 in A. It is a good game. It is. I enjoy it more than 3's combat, but I like 3's story. I don't know if I like 3's story more than 4's. That's difficult. It's difficult to say. But I could just tell you right off the bat, I enjoy, like, bosses in 3 just suck dick. The dude with the knives in his office, when he's like, he steals what's her face, the girl, and he steals the deed, and you have to fight him in the bull ring. Like, those boss fights are not fun. Those boss fights are really unfun indeed. Yakuza 5, I want to put in triple S because that game is fantastic. This game has so much shit to do in it. This game is like 1,000,000 hours long in the best way. Do I want to put it in SSS? I think it belongs. I think Yakuza 5 rightfully belongs there. This game is so fucking good. My only complaint is that you can't Azuna drop people as Haruka. Yakuza 6, I'm gonna move it down to C. Z tier. Its combat is so clunky, dude, and its level system with all the fucking rainbow colors, which like after a while mean literally nothing. That shit really brings it down. The Dragon Engine clunkiness sucks, and Judgment's not this was I just realized. I guess this was made before Judgment came out. It feels wrong putting it down here, so I might put it in B. And that's where I'm also going to put Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise. This game is fun. Lost Paradise combat is really fun. And it's fun to see Kenshiro run around and do silly shit. And it's cool to see Bat and Lin and Jaggy and everybody else in this. And it's fun. But there's a real repetitiveness to the finishers. And I wish that I could play Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise in English, with everybody in English, except for Kenshiro. Because I want Kenshiro to be by the voice of Kiryu in Japanese, whose name escapes me. But have everybody but him in English, and then Kiryu, or not Kiryu, of Kenshiro in Japanese would be so amazing that I would love it. Because who is it? I can't think of who the English voice of Kenshiro is. He does a fine job. But I do not like when he does the announcing for titles for like 100 Fist Rush! Fist of Penitence! I do not like those as much as I do the Japanese announcing of the names. And honestly, that's why it goes into B. Because it gets really repetitive. But it's still good. Yakuza 0. Putting it in S. It's a great fucking game. It's amazing. Majima's really fun in that game. But, yeah, there's not much to say. Majima's 3 styles are so fun. Just to fuck around with. Or not even the 3 styles. The one I really like to mess around with is the Bat. I think, is that Slugger? I think it's Slugger. I think that's what it's called. That is just so much fun to use. I love it. Kiwami 1, I'm gonna put in B. I don't know what it is between 0 and 1, but there is a noticeable clunkierness to Kiwami. I don't know how to put my finger on it. It just feels worse. Maybe just enemies have more health. I honestly cannot explain it in words that how Kiwami feels worse than 0 because they're the same combat. But yeah. And then Kiwami 2 is in B, even if it is a retelling of 2. Kiwami 2's cutscenes bring the story of 2 to like the modern era so masterfully. The scene in the bar where one of Ryuji Goto's thugs bashes Kiryu over the head with a fucking bottle, and then Kiryu turns around and he just looks so pissed. It is wonderful. All the cutscenes and the cinematicness of Kiwami 2 are great, but it suffers from the same clunkiness as the Dragon Engine. It's slightly improved, which is kind of why I wanted to put Song of Life in C and leave this in B. It has the same terrible fucking leveling bullshit with all the colored orbs, the purple, orange, blue, green, and yellow, I think it was, or whatever. It's like the 5 orbs. That shit is whack. That shit is so whack. I hate that shit. I hope to God they do not bring that back for 7. They probably are. I hope they don't. I think that's all the Yakuza games, right? That's all of them. Okay, so Beautiful Joe. It's okay. It's an alright game. It's going in B. I don't really have much to say. Like, I kind of want to put in no strong opinion. I might just do that. Like, I don't have a strong opinion on Beautiful Joe. Like, it's alright. It's okay. Sonic the Hedgehog Unleashed. I played this, and I remember enjoying it. I just dropped it into the... I'm going to put it back down here. I need to think for a bit. It is bizarrely alright. It just felt weird that it's in a Sonic game, and it felt kind of like, why is this here? So I'm gonna put it in D. Like if it wasn't Sonic and the frame rate wasn't shit, maybe people would have liked it more. If it was just some weird like werewolf OC, like original character that just did the Sonic the werehog levels, but it didn't have any attachment to Sonic. Could have been the same universe even. Like Sonic, it could have been like the secret at the end was like Sonic showed up and you're like, boom boom boom, it's a Sonic game. I don't know. It's whatever. Dragon's Dogma, I have not finished. I hit like a brick wall of like a million boring quests that just stopped me from playing this game. I enjoyed the combat and I enjoyed the setting. Like, for a while, I was just pretending this game was Goblin Slayer's game, like a Goblin Slayer game. Because that's kind of what it feels. It's like that generic Western Japanese fantasy, if that makes sense. I don't think I have a strong enough opinion on it. I want to leave it there because I want to finish it before I put it anywhere else. But man, some of those quests are fucking terrible and boring. Killer is Dead. I feel like C is too low, so I'm gonna put it in B. It is the lowest B there's gonna be. I'm gonna move Yakuza Kiwami 2 up over Kiwami 1 because I love Kiwami 2's story. I just love Yakuza 2's story. But that's how it's gonna be. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like that. So Killer is Dead is a great game. Love its style. Love its cast. Some of the music is really good. Some of it's really forgettable. You would know I really like some of the tracks to Killer is Dead because they were at the end of like a lot of my early videos. It's just the outro song for most of my videos. I still use it sometimes. The loading screen theme, where it's like elevator music, it's great. Mondo is so great, he's not even great. He's just cool. He's just a like slick fucker who's voiced by Patrick Seitz, who is my favorite voice actor. I just love any character he voices because he has like the coolest cool guy voice of like, hey baby. Some of the weapon upgrades feel a little shitty. Like some of the gun upgrades just felt really forgettable, or your arm upgrades. The biggest thing holding Killer is Dead back is that it just needs a little bit more. Like it needs a little something. It feels like it's missing something to its combat. Like the install that you get when you fight David on the moon. I think that's what his name is. Liam O'Brien's character. That's your brother or cousin or friend or enemy. I can't remember. He might have been your brother. Cuts your arm off and you fight him on the moon, and he's in his like sparkly glamour clothes and he looks cool as hell with his sword. He's your Virgil fight. You like install or you double trigger in that game, and you get it for like a scripted sequence, and then you never get it again. And I feel like that's like the missing link to this game. Like it needed just one more mechanic to give it more stuff to do. And that's what I think really holds Killer is Dead back from being like an A or an S. Because the boss fights are cool. The guy who has the tiger stand out of his back is sick. The David fight on the moon, or just even in his palace, is also sick. But it's just lacking in gameplay substance, and that's what hurts this game. Ninja Gaiden 3, gonna put it in D. It's a high D. It's a high D. It's boring. I did not enjoy Ninja Gaiden 3. I did not finish it because that's how bored I was. And that game is not long. That game is like 8 hours. I did not finish it because I was not having fun. That game is poop. That game is doo-doo. It is not a fun game at all. Zone of the Enders 1, I'm going to put in C. It is a mid-C. It is a C pure. Like, Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom is like as a C+. And so is like just Transformers Devastation. And God of War 4 is like a C-. And I guess we'll put it down here. And these are like pure C's as well. Like Yakuzas are pure C's probably. Yeah, they're just pure C. So Zone of the Enders 1, at least I think that's supposed to be Zone of the Enders 1. I've never seen that box art. I don't know if that is Zone of the Enders 1. I assume it is. Let me look it up real quick. Zone of the Enders box art. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember this box art at all. I remember the other one. Is this... This is the American box art. What? I don't remember this. I want to say it was something different. Okay, whatever. Zone of the Enders 1 is an okay game. It's character in English, the main character, whose name I don't remember, the little kid. He is so annoying. His voice is so whiny. He's very similar to Shinji in a way, but I like Spike Spencer's portrayal as Shinji better than whoever did the Zone of the Enders kid, who I can't remember his name. God, what is his name? Oh my God, I'm just gonna cut this part out. Leo? Was his name Leo? Okay, yeah, so his name is Leo. I didn't like him that much in 1. He's very whiny, especially in the start. He gets better. But he's not as cool as what's his name in 2, because 2 is going in A tier, maybe F. He's not as cool as Dingo. Like, he's not as cool as... Is that unfair to compare him to Dingo? I don't know. It's maybe that's not fair to compare him to Dingo, but he's cool. He's way cooler than Leo. And yeah, there's just Zone of the Enders 2 is just a better game than Zone of the Enders 1. It's just Zone of the Enders 1, but better. And Anubis is so fucking cool. God, Anubis is such a great design. And then I'll do RE6. I feel like B is too high, but C is too low. Like it is. RE2 has some fantastic moments. Or RE6 has some fantastic moments. And it has some cool characters and has a lot of nice fan service. But it also has a terrible, stupid story that is awful in a lot of areas. Like the guy who fucked over the world or America for reasons, who also worked for the American government. What was his goal? Was it just to be a bioterrorist? I don't remember. I think he wanted to start a new world order with him in charge. He was just like shittier Wesker. But the biggest issue with RE6 is that the levels are too long. Those levels need to be broken up more because they feel like slogs that go on forever. Each level is like an hour plus of just doing stuff. And that sounds like a weird complaint, I know. But I feel like they could have been broken up better. Like, those could have been chapters, and they could have been segmented similar to RE5, where it's like 4-1, 4-2, 4-3, 4-4, 4-5. Like, I just remember the first level of Leon's campaign is like an hour, and then the second one is even longer because it has all the cemetery shit, and then it has the church shit, and then it has the catacomb stuff. That level just went on forever. Just went on forever. Went on forever. Like, it just needed better pacing. That's his biggest issue, is that levels feel like, oh my god, when am I going to stop? When is the end of this level? Because it feels almost like, not sensory overload, but There's just so much shit that I feel like it's too much. It's a little overwhelming to the senses. Okami, never finished it. Gamer confession, never finished Okami. So no strong opinion. Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2. I want to leave those. I want to play them all for the video, and I have no idea. I can't even tell what that is. What the fuck is that game? I can't even read it. Is that Shinobi Blade? What the fuck is that? I don't know what that is. So that is my list. That is everything. I hope you understood my position on certain things. I still have some games to play with that I have not played yet. I'll eventually get to the Onimusha games. I have Bayo 2 and Wonderful 101 on my shelf. It's just my backlog is gigantic. Hopefully, Yakuza Ishin gets brought over here, so we get a wonderful, just a great game, because all the gameplay I've seen, the game looks fantastic, but I'm not playing a game I can't fucking understand. And maybe I'll upload this, maybe I won't. Who knows? Goodbye.